It's a quote by Frederick Douglass, and it's that if there's no struggle, there's no progress. And it's okay to struggle in what you're doing because it means that growth or change or progress is going to come after that.
Hi, Lindsey. Welcome to the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited. I mean, like probably every other millennial/Gen Zer in the country, I'm obsessed with your brand and you, and I'm so excited to be able to chat with you.
You're so sweet. I'm excited to be here.
So I guess that brings us to the question, which is the question of the show. What's the best advice you've ever gotten? And that could be in terms of business. It could be in terms of your personal life. Is there something, though, that someone has said to you that has stood out again and again throughout your life?
So I have three pieces of advice that I live by and remind myself all the time. So I have three for you.
Perfect. You came prepared. We love it.
The first one is everything you need to know to be successful will be caught, not taught. I always, when I'm talking with my employees about just like things that are coming up or mistakes, they get, super down on themselves about mistakes that they're making. And I'm always a firm believer in like, you have to make a mistake in order to learn. And also like, I'm a CEO for the first time. I was not taught how to be a CEO. It's everything that I either like had to catch from other people saying or learn from other people doing. And no one like sat there like a teacher and taught me like this is like the rules to live by in order to be a CEO. So that's one piece of advice that I always remind myself. Another one that I'm a firm believer in, and it's something that I think I say almost every single day, is you are who you surround yourself with, or you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. So surround yourself with people that inspire you. I think that is so true. And I think that if I'm feeling down or, just like not lovable or whatever it might be, I always stop and I look at who I'm surrounding myself with. And if the people you surround yourself with aren't lifting you up, aren't giving you the confidence to move forward in whatever it is that you're doing, or just helping you get through the day, you're hanging around the wrong people. And so that's something I live by almost every single day. I'm super protective of like my energy and who gets to have some of my time because my time is limited. And so that's my second piece of advice. And my third, kind of in everything that I do in my life, is under promise and over deliver.
3 great pillars. I mean, we could just end the show there. Those are great. Those are things I think everyone should live by. I loved all of those. Are there any specific instances in your life where, I know you said a lot of those you live by every single day, but like especially with who you surround yourself by, were there times in your life where you had to reevaluate that circle? And was it challenging sometimes to say goodbye to certain people that maybe just weren't lifting you up, even if they weren't necessarily pulling you down?
Yeah, I mean, so my mom passed away when I was 9. And because of that, I suffered from intense abandonment issues. I still suffer from it today. I have insane anxiety. I used to be that friend where, if someone didn't text me back within 5 minutes, my thought process wasn't like, oh, they're busy or their phone died or they'll get to their text later or they're in the shower. My thought immediately went to that person hates me. And I started to just like really reflect on who I was hanging out with. And I started to see that a lot of these people I was spending my time with was like toxic for me or giving me anxiety. And once I started hanging out with people who kind of, weren't making me nervous about leaving the room and then talking like badly about me, I like almost felt so refreshed. I don't know how to explain it, but I guess that's the word. And then I kind of just like opened my eyes and it was like, whoa, like I need to like take a step back first. And what that meant and what that looked like was spending a lot of time at home and spending time with my husband and not doing social plans and not saying yes to everything and kind of creating boundaries so that I could easily reflect on who fills my cup and who doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's incredible. I mean, I think with everyone, mental health has so many nuances. Female relationships have so many nuances that the people you do surround yourself with can affect both of those things. I think that's amazing. I'm also super interested because of female relationships, there can be a lot of competition amongst women. I'm sure. I mean, a woman alive knows that. And especially as you've achieved more and more success and you've been really careful about who's in that circle though, but have some of those people who you really trusted and felt like wanted you to succeed. Have you seen like sometimes people aren't that interested in your success and they honestly feel like intimidated by it? Has that been hard?
Yeah. I mean, I just went through something recently. So in high school, I wasn't not a popular girl, but I also wasn't the popular girl. I just played a lot of sports and I had a group of friends, but there was always a group, the popular girls who were so mean and just felt like I couldn't fit in or I couldn't be one of them. And it was a horrible experience. Later in life, I'm a firm believer in giving people another chance. People grow, people change. So I gave some of these girls another chance because I think they just saw my success and like they wanted to like be in on the ride. And I quickly just like shot myself in the foot and was like, why did I let them back in? Because they are still the mean girl they were in high school. And I recently went to a party this past weekend, celebrating one of my friends from high school who became a partner in her law firm. And some of the girls there from my high school were so rude to me and just like didn't say hi, didn't like acknowledge that I was there. And I left feeling the party just like so upset. And I was telling my husband and he was like, look at where you are and look at what they're doing. Like, you guys are not even on the same playing field. Do not let this bother you for 1 second. And it was a great reminder. I was like, you're right. Like, I'm not giving them any more minutes of my day to harp on the fact of how horrible they were.
Yeah. And it's so interesting, even with all the success you've had, it's so interesting how those feelings that we've had since childhood can creep back on us. Like we know our worth. We know that we've accomplished great things, but then you get surrounded by people who make you question that. And all of a sudden it's like you start to reevaluate everything. So again, though, amazing that you have your husband and other people who can remind you of that when you forget. I think that's amazing. Do you have any other advice or any other quotes that have stood out to you recently? I'm a quote gal and I love the quote you just shared, but usually I have like 10 on hand at any time.
I think this is something I was having a talk with an employee the other day, and I was just talking about like, she's just been struggling in her role and her position. And I just kind of explained the quote by Frederick Douglass. And it's that if there's no struggle, there's no progress. And it's okay to struggle in what you're doing because it means that growth or change or progress is going to come after that. And so to change your mindset and see it as a positive thing in the struggle, or like just changing your perspective in general on those negative thoughts, can really kind of change your mindset for the day or what it is that you're working on.
I love that. I think that's very wise advice. Well, this has been so much great advice, so many good quotes. Thank you so much. You are full of wisdom. I knew following you that this would be a great interview, but I didn't know it'd be this good. And you could have a quote page all on your own. Where can people go to follow you or your brand, whatever you want to plug? Give us the handles, the websites.
Well, it's setactive.co or setactive on Instagram and on TikTok. And then my personal Instagram where I share like the raw, the real, the BTS is Lindsey Carter. I think our TikTok is the funniest platform to follow. It's where we really get to show like our personality. But yeah, that's where you can find us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lindsey.
Thank you so much for having me. I love talking quotes. So this was right up my alley.
This has been a true pleasure. Thank you for your wonderful brand that brings love and joy and light to so many people. And to everyone listening, thanks for listening to The Shift.